brilliant 12-year-old boy who has been raised to lead the Earth's forces against an alien attack begins to question the military strategy for peace in Ender's Game.
I am Harrison Ford. Welcome to Made in Hollywood. Here's a scene from Ender's Game, my newest film. They know our strategies. They've learned our weaknesses. And the alien attack nearly destroyed us. That must never be allowed to happen again.
What makes Ender, your character, stand out so special?
What really attracted me to the role of Ender is the complexity of the character and the amount of depth that goes into every single action he does, the amount of thought, every single tiny nuance that isn't necessarily visualized physically, or often just goes on inside his head.
So translating that kind of thing, which is very much about what's going on inside his head and these complicated ideas in the book, into a film was quite tricky. He's in his own mind.
But even then, you can see it in the close-ups that Gavin did on my eyes. Looks amazing.
If we're going to survive, we need a new kind of soldier.
What is it about Ender that your character is drawn to and or captivated by?
The film proposes that young people have a particular capacity for absorbing huge inputs of information and creating strategic understanding of it. One who doesn't think the way we think. And this young man, Ender, has been tested and found to have an instinct for leadership.
Nobody's saying not to take risks.
When I read the script and read the book, you sort of think, how on earth are they going to pull this off?
Fear the things we fear. One the enemy would never expect. And that this young man has the appropriate skills, and given the training, he could be the commander of the international fleet. We need minds like yours, Ender. You'll be the finest commander we've ever trained.
So I'm not the first?
No, but you will be the last.
What is the dynamic between your character, Colonel Graff, and Viola Davis' character, Major Anderson?
The character that Anderson, the character that Viola Davis plays, is responsible for the mental health, the safety of these young people.
The dynamic was one of two opposing thoughts. And the thought of Graff, meaning, we have to train these kids to be soldiers. And soldiers, it's not about emotions. It's about winning.
Action!
And finds herself at odds with what I'm asking this young man to assume as responsibilities and how I feel I need to treat him.
You really don't see them as children, do you?
Putting the two ideas out there and having there be discourse is very important.
You mean lie to them?
So there's a very interesting triangular situation here.
Both views are very, very important. Now, how you navigate your way through both of them, I don't know.
I'll do everything I can to win this war.
What was it like doing the zero gravity fight sequences? Did you was it really hard to learn how to move in that way?
Not only are you thinking about your performance and your acting, but you're 30 feet in the air, the accent to worry about, and then you have to make it look like you're in zero gravity.
This is the battle room. In here, the floor has been designed to generate an Earth-like gravitational pull.
In the book, this amazing space where young people jump out into zero gravity and fly around and play this amazing laser game. I really needed time to think how we were going to visually do that.
There was a lot of technical things to think about in terms of the position you hold your body in and knowing where the camera is and having to say your lines on top of it all. So it was definitely difficult and definitely a challenge, but really, really cool and really fun.
The further you target, the longer you have to hold the beam.
You have to constantly moving your arms and legs. There's a hell of a lot to think about. And then again, we had so much fun.
3, 2, 1.
And so the book's challenge is both how to translate the character, who is complicated, but also how to translate these big visual epic experiences in the battle room, and also in the end of the movie in this big simulation cave where he plays this ultimate video game, if you like, which had to be really cool.
If you succeed, you will be remembered as a hero.
What did you find inspiring about the story?
Well, I thought that the themes, while they, the context here is a adventure in the future. These are thematics that are very much a part of our everyday lives right now.
Well, what I find inspiring about the story is that they found someone who is great in Ender, an ultimate leader, a born leader, okay? Someone who's very resilient also, and someone who in all of it has compassion. I found that to be very inspiring.
Even though it was written 30 years ago, it still feels like it's part of today's culture. All of the themes and the ideas are so relevant today.
Over the course of this story, of this film, you are on this journey with these characters, and that journey is of them finding themselves.
I'm hoping that people will go in family groups to see this, because I think the experience will bring up questions that young people will want their parents to be responsible for answering.
It's a film that you can go and watch and afterwards have a conversation that really needs to be had.